not Jason Lee, who is accused of stealing money to support his extravagant lifestyle from the decent people of Stockton City. Additionally, this man apparently accused Jay Z and Beyonce of setting him up online after he was caught taking all that money and the investigation was completed. You can't make this up, baby. To begin with, who in hell believed that Jason Lee, of all persons, should be appointed Vice Mayor of Stockton? Nobody's bingo card had Jason Lee as a politician on it, yet here we are. They have just themselves to blame for this whole disaster, which makes Stockton appear like a joke. The city's accounts are currently losing millions of taxpayer dollars. In fact, Jason was chosen by Mayor Christina Fugazi to serve as Vice Mayor of Stockton, California, back in November of last year. It appears that he immediately got to work on dodgy projects after taking office in January of this year, as he was already being investigated in May for allegedly embezzling $50,000 from the city's coffers. He didn't spend any time, in May. The well-known television program Wild 'N Out Live was broadcast live in Stockton at the Adventist Health Arena. However, in order to keep the event from being canceled due to poor ticket sales, the city chose to use $50,000 from its risk mitigation fund. This is the point at when chaos ensues. Steve Cangelo, the city's previous interim manager, claims that Jason misappropriated the $50,000 without the required governmental consent. Steve went so far as to demand that Jason be the subject of an internal investigation because he thinks that the $50,000 was only a small part of the millions of dollars that Jason allegedly embezzled from the city's coffers in order to fund similar events. Additionally, he charged Jason with using his personal connection to the Wild 'N Out event planners to steal a portion of the $50,000. Jason refuted the accusations and even threatened to sue, as was to be anticipated. He said that the Director of Economic Development approved the $50,000 and that he had nothing to do with it. He posted a picture to Instagram with the following caption: "A few weeks ago, I got tipped off that there was a conspiracy brewing claims that I brought Wild 'N Out to Stockton and influenced decisions so Nick Cann and my friends and I could profit. Let's be explicit. As a courtesy to me, Nick and the Wild 'N Out crew traveled to Stockton to show that we are worthy of prestigious collaborations like Nick Rip Michaels and 5120 Entertainment. The attacks on our diligent city employees for merely carrying out their duties are really disheartening. It was crickets when we discussed it in the audit committee today. Rather, our community adored every second of it, and management commended Wild 'N Out for their professionalism. There will be footage soon. But let me tell my detractors this. Work harder if you can't outdo me in terms of policy, opportunity, or inspiration, because lying to damage my reputation won't work when I have the support of the public." Jason added that because he questioned the city's finances and his position as audit committee chair, he thinks these accusations are part of a campaign of retaliation against him. Jason Lee is doing everything he can to escape this disaster, baby. In addition, he sought a public apology, and should they not back down from the accusations, a $25,000 lawsuit for damages for emotional anguish, defamation, and reputational loss. Since Jason Lee has been exposing Beyonce and Jay Z ever since this mess with Diddy began, some people were side-eyeing the entire scenario while all of this was happening and accusing them of setting them up. And you know what? Jason seemed to vouch for the fact that Bey and Jay were responsible. As you can see, Jason has been pursuing Beyonce and Jay Z for quite some time. When Beyonce refused to invite him to the premiere of her Renaissance film, he threatened to reveal evidence that implicated her, which was the first time he came for them. I want you to watch their reactions. So I'm going to inform them while Johnny beeps over this segment of the show. I'll do it now, so you won't know what it is. Music. I return to acting as though we are pals in the game at that point. We help one another. We support and assist one another. What if I had shown that on Hollywood? There is one more thing I see. Don't let this happen. Johnny. I believe Beyonce might have given me a, you know what I mean just by that. As if a little love ought to be here right now. Perhaps she is unaware. She is aware that Beyonce is unaware. Indeed. I don't believe Beyonce and they will disclose it to Yvette is aware that I received the receipts. I've kept the receipts. Yvette is aware that I received the receipts. I have them. If I were to send Beyonce that message, I would like it to say, oh, I have a connection. I could send Beyonce the message. She must be aware. Additionally, I believe that people admire her publicist, whom I adore. Furthermore, I'm merely being critical. That's what I just do. You're aware of the incident. Right now, we're attempting to reserve Kelly Rowland. Now, there will be an issue if I don't get Kelly Rowland since I say this around that time. I'm then sending out the receipt. After I've given you the receipts, I'll distribute those. The fires will result from that. I'm not concerned. No, I'm not going anywhere. Not now, I'm telling you. I refuse to participate in this industry game. Many folks weren't present for Jason's brief tirade at the time. He exuded a sense of entitlement. Furthermore, it seemed as though the only reason he was disparaging Beyonce was because she had not invited him. However, when the public learned about Beyonce and Jay's purported connections, everyone was like, hold on. That could be the reason he was right all along. When Jason Lee went live on Instagram to provide the list of people he saw in person at Diddy's parties, he returned with fresh accusations against Beyonce and Jay. He mentioned Mary J. Blige, Justin Bieber, Tyrese, Amber Rose, Travis Scott, Usher DeBob, Jordan Woods, Tiana Taylor, and of course Beyonce and Jay Z. You know, many of these celebrities, all of them in the culture, have visited Diddy's home, so they have viewed all of his text messages and phones. I can read to you what I texted Diddy. On what day will the network show air it? Diddy, will you be appearing on the show? Why is it that everything has been business for me? For me, it has been business. Since I don't interact with them in that manner, I don't have anything offensive to say to them. You're telling me about all those late nights then? What are you doing? Where are you? Jay Z was in his house and I saw him. I saw T. Jake in his residence. I visited Chris Brown at his residence. Jordan Woods is in his residence and I have seen him. Travis Scott was at this residence when I saw him. I think I saw Beyonce at this residence. I have witnessed Tiana Taylor. I've witnessed them all. I've seen them all, even though we were all in the backyard. There, I saw Usher. There, I've seen the Babyyy. There, I saw Justin Bieber. I've observed that everyone has attended a Diddy party. Well, I've seen Tyrese, Amber Rose, Demi Moore, Ashton Kutcher, and Lindsay Lohan. I've observed that everyone has been there. Mary. I've seen them all. Jay Blige. You see, he wasn't finished. He returned a few days after posting this, accusing Jay and Beyonce of sending their thugs after him after they heard his remarks about them. He claimed that Jay and Beyonce had been threatening to fire him in an attempt to get him to retract his remarks about them and even to speak for them, but he refused. He added that he prevented a significant negative report about them from ever being published. Yet they continued to act as like he didn't exist. Why would Jason Lee myself be calls are coming in, and I haven't even answered? I haven't received a call inviting me to the Rock Nation brunch. I have not received a call inviting me to attend the gold celebration to collect the distinction. When we volunteered to recognize Jay Z at the award event, they didn't give me a call. While we were kneeling for Kaepernick, they didn't call me to attend the press conference regarding the NFL settlement. They didn't give me a call to find out my thoughts on her hair care item. They didn't provide me a complimentary bottle of her perfume over the phone. I was not given the opportunity to backstage during her Renaissance tour. In fact, the video that went viral gave the impression that I was chasing her around like a huge fan, even though I actually don't chase anyone. I guess no one has contacted me to clarify it. I have yet to receive a delivery of white flowers from Beyonce along with a small letter. Why am I now getting calls from everyone? Oh, and you stopped too. We won't even venture there. I prevented Beyonce from doing something really, really, really big. Didn't understand at all. Thank you. However, today, everyone. Why, therefore, is everyone phoning me right now? I run towards fires and extinguish them or fan the flames since I work as a fireman. But why am I now being called by everyone? And that's the issue I have with the entire circumstance. However, I will reserve this discussion for Jay Z. You're watching, Jay Z. You have people calling me, but I know you're watching. Don't call me anymore. You may refer to me as yourself. You are able to obtain my number. You are aware that I have calls. Call me if you want to, since this is going viral. Everyone will be clipping and sharing on TikTok, given the way my job operates online. Take a look. Take action. TikTok. This will be seen by Jay Z and Beyonce. I'm sick of people phoning me about Beyonce and Jay Z. I haven't even mentioned you yet, and you have never asked for anything more. Nevertheless, I keep getting these calls. Over the weekend, I received additional calls regarding Beyonce and Jay Z. Since I'm not a publicist, I believe this is an opportunity to establish a connection and discuss how this works. Okay, so I'm just Jason and not all right. In addition, I have thoughts for opening Hollywood. Recall that I mentioned at the beginning of the broadcast, or at some point throughout the presentation, that I was enamored with the entertainment business until I discovered it was Jeffrey D. Mayer. This is a component of the industry's wrist snapping. Black excellence, you know. We don't support one another as much as we ought to. And then you think I'm gonna go fan some when they're about to hit the fan. You're showing up now. I'm not furious. You know that again. Even though I've loved this woman for years, I told you that I don't like her as much as I once did, so I'm a little let down. Although I'm not as big of a fan as I once was, I still adore her. You are aware of my intense feelings for this woman. This woman is like, this is everything and this is everything together. Is it though? I think this is a chance to talk, because I think that before these things happen, our society should be really supportive of one another. In this manner, we may convey the truth because of our close contact to it. We must thus collaborate in order to share our stories. However, I will inform the audience that all of the calls I've been receiving have been about him in case I do disappear. And pay attention, I haven't received any intimidating phone calls. I have not heard anyone threaten to harm me. I would like to be officially recognized for that. Jason has been revealing a lot of information about them that they don't want others to know, even though it's obvious that the true reason he's on their neck is because they don't think highly of him as much as he wants them to. They are currently attempting to quiet him. In fact, he appeared to acknowledge that Babyyy and Jay were the cause of his present issues when he posted the post that said, "Not liking someone is perfectly okay, but making up lies to destroy their character is not okay," in response to people bringing them up in this. People had their own opinions as usual, such as this one, who claimed that Jason Lee's position as mayor allows me to learn everything I need to know about the city. Another individual commented, "The most amusing thing about Jason Lee, in my opinion, was Beyonce's flight. He wins because he is the mayor. We genuinely live in peculiar times. Now, though, I'd like to hear your opinions. How do you feel about Jason Lee reportedly stealing funds from the city without permission? And you guys think Jay Z and Beyonce are involved in this? Please share your opinions in the space provided for comments below. Additionally, remember to click here to view this additional nasty video.